Yes, that's right. Talking with T-Bird is back for season, who even knows at
Yes,
this point?
I know.
Was it season what?
Season 6.
Oh, like the Amazon.
Season 6.
We're so back. We're back, and we've got such a great one for you here today as we're going to catch up with Shannon Shambo Waters from Survivor Samoa here. And what a coup de grace here for the queen of tracking down the survivors. It's Teresa T-Bird Cooper. Yes.
Hello, Rob. So, season 6 premiere with Shannon. It has taken me.
You need the buff bandana to really make the Shambo look.
Well, anyway, I've got the here. Anyway, season 6 premiere. It has taken me over 6 years to get her, so I think this could not be more appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yes. This was way back when T-Bird and I first started talking with T-Bird, and T-Bird's like, who are the people you want to hear from? I'm sure Shambo was one of the people that were early on the list, and that T-Bird, there has been so many people in like T-Bird's archives that she has like written letters to, gone back and forth. And Shambo is one of the people that you have spent the most time trying to track down.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
And you finally.
Yes.
Yes. And you finally got Shambo to agree to come on with us, and she'll be here with us. Anything you want to say about the chase for Shambo?
No, I mean, I think it's, everybody's survivor experience is different. And so yes. I think she wasn't sure. She didn't want to be, I guess what they say, blindsided with questions she didn't want to answer.
Yes.
And usually, Rob, I don't like to talk to our guest much at all, if any, other than maybe texting or before we actually do the interviews, because I want it to be fresh. Well, I talked with Shambo for, again, over the last 6 years, but it was never about the podcast. It was just really just getting to know her and what a unique and very awesome person she was. So I think we just needed to build that trust. Good. So she knew that.
Well, you are the best in the game at getting people to feel comfortable enough to come on and talk with us. So really, you're the MVP. That's why the podcast is called Talking with T-Bird. It's been a minute since we've done Talking with T-Bird. I know you've got a few lined up for this summer. How's everything going in your world, T-Bird?
Everything's going good. Doing a lot of flying. It's the summer. So I do a lot of flying in the summer. Hey, have you done anything fun or crazy or exciting this summer?
I had such a busy summer. Such a crazy summer. Yeah.
Well, anyway, if it's cool today in this room, sometimes it gets cool in the summer. Glenn's got that air conditioning cranked up. Just in case it gets cool, I got a little jacket here I can put up.
Yes. So it's very warm.
Yeah, just in case. So, bring back any memories?
Yes, you look very warm and toasty.
Yep. Okay. Anyway, so I'm excited. Season 6. Hey, Big Brother.
Yeah, you watching Big Brother?
Yeah, I started watching a few years back. Delta flight attendant was on there, so I kind of got locked in. Yeah. And I'm actually.
Do you have a favorite this season?
I like the underdog.
So who's that? Keanu?
Keanu. I'm pulling for the underdog. I can't, Yeah, I like Keanu. I like Ava too. She's very eccentric.
Yeah.
She's got a crazy fun personality. But yeah, I'm pulling for the underdog, so I'm pulling for Keanu right now. So what about you? Any favorite?
I mean, Rachel's been a long-time friend of the podcast.
Yeah. So also, I heard you were on a Delta flight here recently.
Yes, I did. I was. I've done a lot of flying. Yes, I did fly Delta. That was on my 15-year anniversary, and Nicole and I flew Delta to Paris. Lovely flight.
It looked like a great trip.
Yeah.
I mean, pictures I saw from you and Nicole, it looked great.
Okay, but it was very romantic. But I'm done traveling now for the summer, and now we're locked in, and we're gonna get some Talking with T-Bird in, and the first of which we have Shambo, and let's go ahead. T-Bird, are you ready? Let's bring in Shambo.
Our guest today played on the 19th season Survivor Samoa. Her life experiences up to her then 45 years would definitely prepare her for this physically demanding adventure. She is one of 9 kids from Renton, Washington, about 11 miles from Seattle, and has a deep loyalty for family and friends. She has described herself as a trucker, logger, motorcycle guy that's a chick. As a kid, she would cut and split a cord of wood just to get off restriction. She was voted most athletic in her senior graduating class and voted class comedian. You don't have to talk to this second generation Marine long to know that her strong, eccentric personality comes from her solid roots given to her by her mom, who coached her in soccer from 7 years old, who she says is her role model and her hero. And her dad, also a Marine, who taught her a strong work ethic and passion for cooking. She loves her toys. She has had a tractor since she was a kid. She is a Harley lover, her favorite named Chunky, and also boat and jet ski owner. She has a passion for cooking and went into the Marine Corps to become a chef and became an executive chef. She has a strong love for dogs, rescuing them and placing them in loving homes over the years. And she has a very strong dislike for bullies. She will tell you that every kid needs a hero. And after listening and talking with her, you quickly get the impression that she is that hero. She lost 70 pounds, 4 pant sizes when preparing to play Survivor. She says she might stretch a story, but whatever she does, she will do it honorably for not only herself and her family, but also for the U.S. Marines. The one word I would use to describe our guest today as our 6-year friendship has evolved is passionate. Everything she does is with great passion. Her favorite quote, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? By Martin Luther King Jr. I welcome the one, the only amazing woman who, as a 10-year-old kid, was obsessed with the Rocky movies, which she has seen at least 100 times, and who is still rocking her signature 1984 mullet, Shannon Shambo Waters.
It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rival. It's the last known survivor at the end of the night. Da, 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 da.
Oh,
Yes.
hilarious. I had a feeling you might play my song.
Yes. The appropriately Survivor.
Yeah.
Eye of the Tiger.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's
Full
like
circle.
Destiny.
Yeah.
Shambo's pretty crazy. So yesterday, Rob, I talked to Shambo trying to finalize everything. Sham, are you digging on my mullet? I forgot to put it on when I was doing your intro. It's kind of crooked.
I wish my hair was still that color.
Okay, anyway. So anyway, Rob, I was talking to her. I had my mom with me, and I didn't mention yet that we wanted to do, the video, because I didn't want to throw everything out on her at one time. And she's like, I don't know. I look so terrible, and I don't feel good. And then my mom, who's with me, at 84, has all her makeup on. She's giving Shambo makeup tips that she just needs to put on some red lipstick. And it was priceless. I said, Mom.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Shambo said she's never worn makeup, like basically a day in her life. So anyway, hey, Shambo, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me. You guys are really sweet for pursuing me. I was just kind of chilling, doing my own thing, post-Survivor. And it's been an honest to God blessing to have been on the show and be able to do things like, raise awareness for at-risk teens and just, so many different things that came my way due to being on the show and people thinking, who is this big mouth knucklehead? My God, I never met anybody like her before. The biggest word that people have called me in my life is gregarious, which I had no idea what the hell that meant. I had to look it up. So this was...
it's not feckless. I'll tell you that.
It's certainly not.
Yeah.
And,
well,
you know, it's a blessing to have been given a stage to help in all the ways that, you know, I've been allowed to participate.
Well, Shambo, it's so nice to have you here, and I really do appreciate you taking a chance and coming here. I know that you and T-Bird have been in correspondence for
Yep.
many, many years, and
Yep.
so I really do. I'm very grateful that you decided to finally take us up on this invitation.
You're really cute with that little goatee you got going on
Oh, thank you.
there, man. I love a goatee.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, Shambo, flattery will get you everywhere here on RHAP. But we're so nice. We're so thrilled to have you here,
Thank you.
and I'm sure that the fans will be too.
Oh yeah. Shambo, 40, you were 45. Why
Oh,
did you say, I want to do this? Tell me about your audition process. What was your thought processes going into it?
well, Eva and I were separated, and she really did not want me going on Survivor, which just made me want to do it, truth be told. You know how that goes. You want this, they want that. You're like, no, I'm going to do what I want to do. So that was the beginning of it. And then my friend Trina came over and did the first video, and I was being a bit of a knucklehead, and that, oh my gosh, if you could see that video, you would probably laugh your face off. But long story short, there was some motorcycle riding in there. There was some flambeing with a giant wok in my kitchen, adding brandy to it and all colorful vegetables. And I was throwing them like 18 inches high. It was hitting my hood and coming down. And then I was doing a weapons demonstration out in the grass. And then my two dogs came and ran, and I was getting bitten with mosquitoes, and I was slapping my arms. And I was like, pick me, Survivor. You have never had a former woman Marine, and these are real 44Ds. And I mean, 3 days later, after sending the VCR tape in, I got a phone call from somebody named Brett. I was running on the treadmill, and I just jumped off the treadmill. I said, hey, this is Shan. Hey, Shannon, you look great on tape. We love your energy. You're hilarious. We want to fly you out to LA. And I said, okay, groovy. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened. They had me send one more video. I went to LA. That was a little bit jinky. I was
In what way?
Well, I was a 2-pack a day smoker, and they wanted to lock me into a hotel room. And I was like, whatever. So I had the taxi cab driver from the airport, because I didn't know where the heck I was going. I don't know LA. I'm from Seattle. I had him stop at a store, and I got a 6-pack of Heineken and a bottle of Behringer wine, because I figured I'm going to be here for a week. I'm going to need something to drink. And it was 4 days before my 45th birthday. So I'm being sequestered in a hotel room, not going to smoke, not going to drink, not going to be with my friends, not going to be with my family. And I was like, I don't know about this. I was a little, wasn't too sure what the whole process was going to be. So I get my luggage in my room, and you're not allowed to talk to anyone or look at anyone. And there's handlers that help you. You guys know, you were both on the show, the process. It's probably still the same as it was, 16 years ago for me. So I went to my hotel room, and I grabbed a pack of my cigarettes and a lighter and put some shorts on, because it was hot here and hot there in LA. And 2 men in black walked up to me, and I'm eyeballing them, right? Because I'm always aware of my surroundings. It's just kind of how I am. And they're like, hey. I'm like, what? And they're like, you need to come in the hotel now. You're not allowed. I said, I don't even know who you are. You need to step off. I don't even know who you guys are. You need to step off. And they just started laughing. They're like, oh my God, this chick's hilarious. They said, Shannon Waters, we are with, I think they said the program or something like that. Like, oh my God, I'm being converted or brought into a I don't even know what. So they walked me in the hotel, and they said, you need to go upstairs to the second floor with us. There's going to be about 9 or 10 or 11 people in the room, and they need to talk to you about the rules. And I'm like, rules? These people are civilians. This is hilarious. So they brought me in this room, and there was one lady, and she was kind of, you could tell she was in charge, and she was flipping her hair. And I was like, two can play at that game, because my mullet was like down past my pants at that time. So they said, first off, if you're serious about being on Survivor, you need to quit smoking right now. I said, really? I said, you want me to go through a week of interviews and do like college entrance exams and go work out in the gym with a bunch of strangers in front of people and go swimming, and I'm not going to smoke? You people have lost your damn mind. I said, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get me a smoking room, and you're going to get me a smoking room right now, and I want a balcony. And I will quit smoking if I get cast on Survivor. And they said, well, you're going to have to quit 30 days before you go, and you can't use any of those patches or those purple pills, and they're talking about all this stuff that I have no idea about because I'm a smoker, right?
Yeah.
I didn't quit smoking at this time whatsoever. So long story short, I got my room. I got my balcony.
Yeah.
And you got cast.
Yeah, well, on day 4, somebody knocked on the door and they said, hey, we need you to go downstairs. And I said, I'm not going downstairs until I talk to somebody that's upstairs who's in charge, because my birthday is tomorrow. And if I don't have a German chocolate cake and at least 1 or 2 Heineken beers, because I already ran out of my Heinekens that I bought on the way here, I'm not going on your show. And they were like, we'll get back to you. They shut the door and I was laughing. I'm like, yeah, they didn't grow up in my family. If you don't have an opinion, oh, Lord have mercy. You better stand by. You better say what you want. You better grab that last pork chop. I'm just kidding. There was always plenty of food on the table. You can tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to have an opinion in life, and you need to state what your purpose is so people will follow you, so that you can be a leader and you can grant aid. It's just the way it is.
Could you tell when you were saying those things to them that they were really liking that was stuff that was really winning you over to them?
No, I was just really, really, really being me. I was not sleeping in my bed. I have massive body damage. Not sleeping in my bed was the worst part of going to the LA interviews, because I had a really hard bed in the smoking room, but I wasn't going to complain about it. So I just took all the pillows off both beds and put them underneath the sheets and made like a little squishy quilt thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really helpful. But yeah, I didn't really understand how the process worked until I think it was like day 2 or 3. I think it was the 3rd day. We all got in like big white vans, and we got brought to some kind of a big beige warehouse that had stairs on the left-hand side, and they made us all line up, and then they'd call us one at a time. And I think I was like the 9th. Yeah, I was the 9th person called, and I was like, oh, this bad luck, because I'm number 8 out of 9 kids. I should have been number 8. So I go in there, and there's a giant stage, and there's probably, I don't know, 40, 50 people. And it's really dark, but you can see all the people, and there's like a light and a microphone on the stage. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is good stuff for me, because I can tell a story. Sometimes I'll fib a little bit just to make it a little bit better, but it's basically true. But this story that I told them was factual, and they loved it. They ate it up, and they were like, one other person asked me another question after that.
Wait, what was the story you told them?
The story was the lady that was in the front row, she had like a crop shirt that was black, and she was really buff and brown, and she was cool looking. That's what I remember. And then there was a guy sitting next to her that had a vest on that was like yellow and blue plaid. I was just like taking a picture of what I was seeing, right? So the lady goes, okay. And she turns to the guy, and he grabs the microphone. He goes, tell us a story or an incident which you perceive to be one of the greatest days of your life. I said, oh, that's cakewalk. So this was April 28th, because my birthday is April 29th. That's why I know what day it was, because the next day was my birthday. And on the 22nd of January, 3 months earlier, roll the clock back, my name gets called for Salesman of the Year of a company of 500 people that has only ever had one woman, Lori Rhodes, 11 years earlier who was a salesman of the year, who is one of my heroes. And I got up there and I told the story about this incident, and Tim Irie, my VP of sales, precious dear friend of mine, wonderful family man with a son and a daughter, and his wife is amazing. So Tim and I worked outside sales together at Bargain Ellingson out of the Seattle store. And our outside sales crew was like another Marine Corps family. It was like our platoon. And the Seattle store was uber tight. I mean, we did crazy stuff together. And our general manager, Jeff Gentling, was just the best guy because he let me be me. He didn't manage me. He's like, Shannon, if you need anything, you let me know. And, we're going to just keep going with what you're doing. And so this is, it's 9 years after I got hired. Well, Jeff hired me because he was one of my sales reps when I was the chef at the Kingdom back in 94, 95 season. And he needed Belshaw Donut Company to come in and do a demonstration, but they didn't have a kitchen big enough because these donut machines are like 16 feet long. So he called me up. He's like, hey, Shan, it's Jeff Gentling. Got a favor to ask. And I'm like, what's up, boss? He goes, I need to borrow one of your kitchens. I said, that's going to work. We only have a Mariners homestand starting on Thursday, and it's 3 days against Minnesota. So you can use the secondary kitchen, the prep kitchen. He goes, are you serious? I said, yeah, send these guys down here. So a guy by the name of Rick Van shows up with the Belshaw donut guy, and Rick's a cutie pie. He's famous. He was our first VP of sales when I was little at Bargain Ellingson, I call it. So Rick and the Belshaw donut guys show up, and I told all the guys, because I had like 176 employees at that time. I'm like, I got to go down here. You guys hang out here. The 3 leads were in charge of the kitchen for a couple hours, and I was hanging out with the guys, and I was learning about this donut machine and everything. And I was like super jazzed. I'd never seen a Belshaw donut machine that was this big. I mean, it was a conveyor belt. It was super cool. So I was kicking it with Rick Van, and then my second interview at Bargain Ellingson is with Rick Van and another guy who is to remain nameless because I don't want to be naughty. So Rick Van was like, Jeff, we are hiring Shannon. Oh my God, are you kidding me? This woman is so knowledgeable. She's hilarious. She's gonna crush it. And Jeff's like, yeah, I don't know about the F-bombs. And he's like, no, she'll learn to curb it down. And so they took a chance on me and hired me in 98. And it was life-changing. It was absolutely life-changing because I got to use all the knowledge that I had for, 20 plus years in food service, coming up through the Marine Corps and going to cooking school, and then getting my first cooking job about a year after I got out of the Marine Corps because I couldn't get a job. I started with a landscaping company, and I was doing like dry rock bed bridge building, and then I was doing landscaping, rolling sod, tree trimming. I mean, the whole kit and caboodle. I did that for a year, and I had already cooked for 4 years in the Marine Corps, and I had another job at Simon's on South Center Parkway when I was in high school. So I had, several years of food service under my belt. So I took that break because I couldn't get a job and my tabs were due. But by the grace of God, when I was stationed in Okinawa, Japan, I was making double car payments on my little Nissan truck that I bought in '85. So I wanted my truck paid off by the time I got back from overseas. So that was my plan. So the only thing I spent money on was bandanas, chocolate, scuba gear, refilling my tanks, and an underwater camera.
Wow.
Other than that, all my money went into my truck to get it paid off.
One last question about this, that when you were salesperson of the year, what were you selling?
I was selling restaurant equipment.
Okay.
There it is.
That should be against the law to be a chef for 20 years and then sell restaurant equipment. I mean, our company was so brilliant because if you were a sous chef, a chef, if you were a general manager, an assistant manager, a bar manager, you had to have 5 years experience back then to work for this little 500 person company that had, I think it had 3 or 4 stores when I got hired. Now they have like 19. So I was one of the people that was kind of helpful in building.
They need you.
building this company, because the territory that I was given was 3 towns, which expanded to 7. I started with 16 accounts and ended with like over 400 in 20 years. So cold calls.
So casting has asked you to tell your most memorable story, which
Okay.
I would imagine went on for quite a while.
No, it's a very short story. It's very powerful, but it's very short.
So what did they say? Because you've got so many details. Your memory even today is pretty impressive about your most memorable moment up to that point, being salesperson of the year. So at the end of your story, which I'm sure was very detailed, what was their reaction?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, the story, you said it was short. Could you tell us what it is?
Yeah. So I get up there. Tim calls me up on the stage. They announce my name, all of my teammates, because there's like 8 or 10 of us at one of the big round tables. There's about 700 people in the room at the sales seminar that we go to for 3 days. And there's all the reps that provide our materials, whether it's pots, pans, whips, tongs, ladles, garbage cans, whatever, right? Anything having to do with food service. So Tim's standing there and I'm horrifically bawling. And I don't think in 10 years anybody had ever seen me cry or tear up. I'm Captain Happy Ass. So that this was just mind blowing, I believe, for the people that were there. So Tim walks up to me. He puts his arm around me. And he puts the microphone down and he whispers in my ear, "Shannon, this room is so filled for love for you right now." He goes, "This is your moment. Get yourself together and talk to the people." And I said, "Okay, Tim." So I walked up to the microphone and I tapped it and I said, "I can't believe this shit." And they busted up laughing because I'm a cussy mouth Christian, right? I can't help it. I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So everybody's just, they're falling out of their chairs because I just cussed in front of 700 people in my big moment. What a loser. Oh my God. Anyways, so then I said, "All right, you guys, lock it down." And then everybody be just quiet, right, for a minute. And then I said, "I want you guys all to get on your feet right now." And everybody jumps up. 700 people jumped up. And I'm like, oh my God, it worked. I mean, I didn't know that I was getting Salesman of the Year, so it's not like I could practice anything, right? So they all jump up and I go, "Now I want you all to turn to the person next to you. Everybody on the end, stand still. Everybody else, turn to the right, every other person." And I watched the whole place, like 700 people go, it 3 or 4 times for everybody to face each other. I said, "Now from me to every single one of you that I know and love, I want you guys to hug each other from me to you." And I watched 700 people hug each other. I started thanking people and then I stopped because I felt like I was taking up too much time because I did the whole everybody hug each other thing because it was mind blowing to me. The whole thing was. So the one person that I didn't thank, Russ Randall, was the guy that was the kindest to me the first couple of months that I was there. And I kind of broke my own heart because I didn't mention him. And I tried to always do everything and bring it up to him in the next, 6 or 7 years that we worked together. And I've been in touch with him the majority of the time that I've been retired, the last 8 years. So I think I may have made up for it now.
I've got a feeling you did.
You know what I mean?
So did you see when you were going through this process, did you see other people that you were out there on the island with when you were there?
Yeah, Russ.
Russ
Hantz and I were in the elevator.
Oh, Hantz. Okay.
Russell Hantz and I were in the elevator the day that we had to go
so many Russells.
The college entrance exam.
Yeah.
We were on our way down the elevator and I hit the elevator button and then I looked up and I saw him. He was in front of me. He had a red Harley Davidson t-shirt on. I had a light blue Harley Davidson t-shirt on. And there was a handler with him, a blonde woman. I can't remember her name. And I did the, what's up, brother? Because he had a Harley shirt on, right? And he's looking at me like, holy shit, it's this chick with the mullet, right? And she goes, you two are not allowed to talk to each other. I was like, easy. He's like, you need to shut your mouth. I said, yes, ma'am. And I turned around and I faced away from him. And then when the door opened, then we went to the thing. So it was hilarious because day one, after we flew to Fiji and then we hopped over to Samoa, there's Russell Hantz. And I did not see him on either airplane. I didn't see him in LA. I didn't see him at the hotel. I didn't see him in Fiji. And I see him on the beach. And Eva had downloaded one of those, what the hell do you call it? It's like a Walkman, but it has movies. What do you call those? Anyways, doesn't matter. She had downloaded me. She had downloaded me like 6 movies onto this thing. So I see Russ and he's over there. So I walked up to a couple of the handlers, like first 3 days at Ponderosa, and I said, hey, can I go for a run? And they're like, no, you can't go for a run. I go, can I go swimming? They're like, no, you can't go swimming. I go, well, what can we do? She goes, you can go read any of those books. And I'm like, you're hilarious. I'm so dyslexic. It's not even funny. I couldn't even read when I was in 4th grade. My parents sent me to Catholic school to have a one-on-one tutor almost the entire year in 4th grade because I couldn't frickin' read. Between that and, by the grace of God, my beautiful sister Julie, who's got an IQ like higher than anybody probably in the city of Renton, Washington, worked with me every single day, and my mom and my tutor. And by 5th grade, I could read. It was like God's divine intervention of a miracle. So, I mean, if you look at papers from me from kindergarten through 3rd grade, everything is backwards, even SHANN. The O's are right, but all the other letters are reversed. And then in 10th grade, I got a D- in typing. And the only reason that my teacher passed me is because I was his 4th period TA in PE. So he gave me a pass on typing because I would literally type backwards. I'm like, yeah.
So Shambo, they wanted you to read, so you couldn't read or didn't want to read. So what did you do?
So I was watching my movies, and when I got done watching all my movies, there was no handlers around, and Russ was sitting there, and I said, hey, and I threw him the thing. And he grabbed it because he was the only other person that wasn't reading. It's like we were like the rock Harley people that were like, you know, the capable people, not the 4 lawyers and the, you know, Mick, the anesthesiologist. And I mean, I think there was 5 lawyers on our show. But anyways, yeah. The brainiacs were all sitting there reading. And I'm like, somebody shoot me in the face right now, please.
And that's why you two had such a instant connection on the island, was because you had that past experience.
Yeah. But I felt bad for him because the writing was on the wall. I knew this guy from when I ran into him in the elevator for 1 minute. And then to see him sitting there, it's like he was just pissed when we were at Ponderosa, you know, like on day 3 or 4, and I threw him that thing, and he's sitting there and he put the earbuds in, and he was like, I walked past him another time because I would just go speed walking because they wouldn't let me go for a run. So I'd speed walk, and then I go play with the pig. There was a pig, a mama pig, and she had little puppy pigs. I call everything puppies because puppies are my favorite thing in the whole world. So these little puppy pigs are like this big, right? So they're probably 3 weeks old. Well, of course I brought chocolate. So when we got to set up our little pup tents at Ponderosa, while we're waiting to go in game for that, 6 days, those little puppy pigs used to come to my tent every day. They raided all my chocolate, and I was so mad. But I mean, I was so happy to have friends because the handlers weren't really digging me, and you couldn't talk to anybody. And how am I going to not talk to anybody? So I talked to the pig, the mama pig, and all the little baby pigs. And then there was 2 wild dogs. There was dingoes there. And then I made friends with those guys, and I made friends with the lady that was cooking for us. She couldn't really cook, so I was giving her cooking lessons, and I I was helping her do prep. I ended up actually sending her some knives and cutting boards after the show. I got her address, and she gave me one of those spice crushers. I still have it here in the kitchen. So I was friends with her because I had to be friends with somebody, for God's sake. Quiet Shannon is no fly zone.
What was your very first impression of Russell from when you met him, when you saw him in the elevator, to after you got to know him? And I think it's ironic that he's the first person that you mentioned that y'all had that connection. And he actually, we know, won the Sprint fan favorite, but you were right behind him with top votes. You two. I think that's interesting.
Well, I think as far as providing for your tribes, we probably attempted to do the most. If we didn't do the most, we both attempted to provide, because there was a lot of college mentality, prissy people out there, I'm going to say, just to be nice. That's as bad as it's going to get right there.
Yeah.
Did you see anybody else while you were at the audition that was on the season other than Russell that you remembered?
No, nobody. Only handlers.
Okay.
That went to Samoa with us. There was 3 handlers that I saw in LA. Yeah.
And I think we're all familiar with Dr. Liza, and I think that you told me that
I loved her. Oh my gosh, a wonderful human.
I think Dr. Liza told you that going out there, going on the show would bring you, quote, instant fame. And was she accurate?
Well, I don't really know if I don't know how to really answer that, because I think I've been famous since I was a little kid. I mean, I'm being serious. I mean,
no, I know.
When you come from a family that has 8 children, 4 of them are musical, 4 of them are athletes. Your mom would have been an athlete if she hadn't been born in 1934, and she was scholastically genius. And your dad's a former Marine. He's a small business owner. He's got his little kids out there. I mean, I was driving a loader when I was 9 years old in the backyard. You know, Sean was on the backhoe. I remember right around my 9th birthday. It was right before my 9th birthday. It was I think it was November of 1973, just based on age. South Center Mall. My dad was the guy that put the South Center Mall sign in. That's like, I don't know how tall it is, probably 240 feet tall. He dug the hole with his backhoe to put it in there. So when we had a 3-foot snowstorm, the most snow of my entire life, I mean, my baby sister Nancy, who's 3 years and 1 month younger than me, walked out the front door, and she used to do these little cartoon voices because she had a Southern accent like you, because all the cartoons were Southern voices back then. I mean, think about it. It's hilarious, except for Scooby-Doo. They're the only ones that weren't, but that was later. So Nancy's doing her little, I'm singing in the rain. And she's doing this little song thing. She walks out the front door. I said, Nanny, Nanny, good Nanny, go, wait, wait, wait. And I went and I got my boots on, and I got my hat on, and I opened up the front door, and she was gone. I said, uh-oh. So I walked out into the snow, and I looked, and then I went and got Sean, who's my brother that's 11 months older than me. He's my Irish twin. So we were thicker than thieves, besties, literally from birth. All my memories until I was 15 have Sean in them. Every single memory of my life. That was fabulous. So I went and got Sean, and Sean and I could not find the baby. And I mean, she was 2.5, 3 years old. It was hilarious. So I was like, Mama, the baby's in the snowbank. The baby's in the snowbank. And she's like, Shannon, what are you saying? I go, the baby's in the snowbank. And she's like, Nancy's outside. And I said, we were going to go build a castle. Sean and I didn't know what an igloo was called, but we thought it was called a castle. So we were going to go build a castle. We had our little buckets and our little shovels from the sandbox. And yeah, the baby got lost in the snow, and Sean and I got hired by my dad to go clear the parking lot at South Center at 8 and 9 years old. Sean was on the backhoe, I was on the loader, and I think we each got paid like $50. We were only out there for like 8 hours. We made $50. We were like, oh my God, we are so rich. But Grandpa Squires, my mama's dad, put $100 in our bank accounts I think when we were born or when we were little, I mean, I don't have a memory of it, but we got $100 to open our own bank accounts that we were never allowed to touch until we were 18. So that money went in that bank account.
All right,
But your
Shannon,
sister, they found her okay? That was okay.
She's a rock star. She's the most drop dead beautiful woman you'll ever see at 57 years old. As God is my witness. Yep.
Shannon, I didn't know you were a 2-pack a day smoker before you went out on Survivor.
Oh,
You had
so naughty. Oh my God.
So how did you do? How was that for you, not having your cigarettes out there and the sleep conditions? If you're used to always wanting a hard bed, you said,
No,
how was all
She
that?
went to soft bed.
Oh, a soft bed. Well, so the ground. So how did all that affect your mood or your attitude?
It was horrible. I don't think I slept in the 36 days that I was on the show, not even, the 6 days in Ponderosa. I don't believe I ever slept more than 1 straight hour at a shot.
Yeah.
So I made my Shambo shack on day through after Yasmin got voted off. I made her own little house because the young kids wanted to play. There was some game that was an LA game, and I think there was 10 or 12 people on our season out of 20 from Los Angeles. So it was like this little LA clique, and they were always talking about their favorite sushi bar. And I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Sushi? There's so many wonderful things in the world to eat. If any of them knew how to cook, maybe they would do something besides go to a sushi bar. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I grew up cooking, so.
Okay,
Crazy.
so Shambo, since you're mentioning sushi, I think I remember the auction, the food auction that you sold $240 for. I think wasn't it like sushi base? Wasn't it kind of like nasty, but you were loving it and eating it?
It was sea slugs.
Well, okay, let's sushi.
Oh, that is no. Sea slugs is like giant chunks of lard with like a leather, bumpy gray BS with a little shooter hole where they like project themselves along the ocean floor. It is the most disgusting thing a human can put in their mouth. But I was just trying to go along and get along because it was protein. Any protein was good, and I was appreciative. What a knucklehead I am. Oh my God.
So, Shambo, your season was the first time that the Survivor let 2 leaders pick the tribes, right?
Yep.
Which was Russ and who was the other one?
Mick.
Mick.
Oh, Mick. Yeah. Foa was Mick.
So when Russ picked you first, how did you feel about that?
When Russ picked me first.
So I believe that I don't think they picked the tribes. I think that they picked the leader from the tribe, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Because we all got thrown our purple buffs on the left side.
Okay.
And he picked you to be in the first challenge.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yep.
So how did you feel about Russ? And I know, unfortunately, he wasn't in the game as long as y'all would have liked to have seen with him being
He was
taken
really,
out.
really sweetheart of a man. But that was kind of his downfall too, because he let the dominance of the women dictate what he did as leader. So, I mean, he had a 7-year-old little girl. Well, you can't blame the guy. And he was uber smart. He was built like a steam truck. I mean, he was buff as heck. He was really helpful in challenges. And we were lucky to have him on our tribe. I mean, I think our tribe physically was I mean, obviously from the challenges we dominated, but I did feel bad for Fo. Other than Jason and Mick. I mean, Jason and Mick were pretty buff. So I remember. And Russ was strong, but he was a little dude. So yeah.
Hey, Rob, this might be a good time.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
This might be a good time.
Oh dear.
Shambo. Okay, we got something for you. Okay, here we go.
Shambo! When I heard you were going to do this podcast, I was like, oh, I'm all over this. No doubt about it.
Baby, where's your dreads?
Shambo is one of my favorite people to ever play the game, period. Now, Shambo, if you don't know, after Survivor, I got into this aviation thing. flying a lot of small airplanes like this one back here, this Cessna 152, and just loving life. And so it's been amazing. Got this whole Russ Can Fly journey thing going on, and it's been amazing. But Shambo, one of my favorite people, and here's a quick story. We're out there, we're in the jungle, and all of us are trying to figure out how to deal with our clothes and all that kind of stuff. And Shambo says, hey, listen, I'm trying to wash my pants, but I don't want my stuff all over the international TV. And I just bust out laughing because that's Shambo, just real, raw, and amazing. Shambo, I got to tell you, sister, I have missed you so incredibly. You are a fantastic person. My family and I talk about you all the time. And like I said, I mean it. You are one of the brightest lights I had out there in that game, bar none. So anyway, sister, I pray that life is treating you well, that you are thriving, all of that good stuff. But yes, Shambo for the win all day long. All right, Russ can fly him out. Shambo! Take care. Bye.
How about that?
Oh my goodness, that guy.
Would you go co-pilot with Russ in a plane?
My dad was a pilot. Yeah, I mean, I was like 4 thinking that I was flying the plane in my dad's Cessna. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm down. I mean, I'm not a pilot or anything, but it would be great to see him. But I really like that he got rid of the dreads, the long hair. He looks very, very, very handsome now.
Shambo, how did the dynamics of the game, the tribe change to have 2 people medically evac, but to have Russ medically evac and having Mike taken out? How did that, I mean, we didn't have that in our season. Rob, you didn't have that in either of yours. How did that change? How did it change the dynamic of the game?
Well, it started with the Schmergen Brawl, which was basketball and rugby. So there was a lot of people that got hurt, and I broke my front tooth in that. Liz went to go tackle me and like headbutted my face and broke my front tooth. Ben got evicted from the actual challenge, which Jeff Probst said, in the history of Survivor, in 19 seasons, we have never felt the need to evict someone, but for your safety, Ben, go take a bench. And I'll never forget that. And I thought, right on, Jeff, way to have a pair. That's awesome. Because nobody wants to see people get hurt that are out there trying to do something, whatever their personal reason is. But it's not about punishing people and, carnage. That was never part of the situation that any of us thought of. So he sat down and we all thought he was having a heart attack, and medic was there because it was a main event that was challenging and, very, very brutal. But I think it was harder on their tribe than ours because we'd never even met these people. Right. We're talking like day 4, 5 tops. Yeah. I don't know. So,
Shambo, did you ever connect with Mike Barassi? Because he was a cook, right?
He was a chef.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a chef. I'll tell you, my friend Ashley, that was on their tribe, the 22-year-old beautiful blonde, dear friend of mine.
Trainer, right?
Always. It's actually Akarak. She's married.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's got 2 beautiful kids, and we've been in contact the entire time. She was the person that I most wanted to see when I went to finale. We have a beautiful picture of us. Eva stopped the car and I jumped out and I said, Ashley. She saw me and she started tearing up, and there's a picture of us just embracing each other, hugging, and the look on our faces, I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite pictures. I just looked at it this morning. Yeah, Ash.
Now, you said that when you applied for Survivor, okay, Eva was not in favor of it. You guys weren't together then, but you said by the time
we have never been more than, other than when I was in Okinawa, Japan, we've never been more than 3 hours apart from each other. And at that time we were 20 minutes apart from each other.
Well, could you just speak to did she come around on you being on the show eventually? Did she like the idea?
She didn't like the idea because she had quit watching Survivor. See, we used to watch it every Thursday night when it was on Thursday. And I mean, we always watched Survivor. And when we didn't watch it, we had a DVR and we'd record it if we were busy or working, you know, extra or whatever. But she said it reminded her too much of her own work politics. And at that time, she had just left either AT&T or Singular, I can't remember, because they got bought by each other. Then she went to work for Starbucks corporate, and it was one of those 3 jobs. And she was like, the drama and the fighting and the backbiting is just, it's really overwhelming. And I'm like, but it doesn't have to be that way. She goes, it's always going to be that way. I go, are you crazy? If I went on Survivor, I would not lie. I would never go back on my word, and I would lift people up and I would help them. She's like, good luck with that. But I did. So whatever.
So Shambo, you've continued to watch it. Y'all still have watched it all these years, you and Eva, right?
No, Eva doesn't watch it. She's never watched it.
She doesn't watch it now.
Nope. After my season, I don't think she's ever seen an episode.
Okay.
She didn't come back to it.
You're still watching it, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I record it.
So, and also, I believe, I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but you got asked to come back twice, but one of them was for second chances. 4 times.
4 times.
And
I
you
have
said,
to think that they would have been calling you nonstop.
Well, they asked before we left the island, and then 2 more phone calls. And then the last time we were in Renton still. We're in Moses Lake, Washington now, but we were still back in Renton. And we jumped into the hot tub and my phone rang, and I looked at it and I go, Eva, it's Jeff Probst. She goes, no way. She goes, tell them all go. I said, you're not going anywhere. I said, hey, Jeff, what's up? Shambo, we have a really cool show. And, you know, we know you have your Irish twin brother, Sean. And we thought it'd be really cool to get, you know, it's going to be friends and family. And we thought it'd be really great. I said, Jeff, just lose my phone number, please. I'm good. And he was like, obviously your experience was much different from a lot of other people. I said, yeah, getting injured out there, you know, having to pay my medical bills. That was a little bit of a shocker. I wasn't really banking on that or getting hurt. So I'm good, man. I'm happy in my own personal life. I do not crave fame right now. I'm a happy girl.
Shambo, since you mentioned Probst, what is the one word you would use to describe Jeff Probst?
Spiffy in a Pantagona snap shirt.
Spiffy, okay.
Yeah.
We hadn't heard that one yet,
No, I haven't heard that before. But Shambo, you mentioned that you had an injury on the show that, and I don't remember it being a part of the story on the show.
It was never part of the story. It wasn't aired. I couldn't say anything to anybody for 5 years. It was it was what it was.
Yeah. Can we ask you about what was the injury that you had?
It was just my neck.
Yeah.
From
sleeping?
I had previous neck injuries from vehicle accidents. And that's kind of what I have to say about
Was it
that.
from the challenges?
No.
Yeah.
Sleeping on the ground?
Do you remember when I went over to Foa?
Yes.
And then I came back and helped them win a challenge on spin the wheel and drink the goo.
Okay.
And then we won the T-bone stakes.
Yeah.
And then Laura decided that I was going to have to go back to the other tribe for 3 more days, which was perfect because that's where I built all my alliances with Mick and Jason and Ash.
Yes.
And I taught those guys how to make fire in the rain, how to harvest wood out of the trees when it was pouring down rain. So it was a win-win for me getting sent back over there because the writing was on the wall. I mean, they asked Jeff if they could get rid of Ben, send him to Galu, and adopt me onto their tribe. These people were like, I mean, they're like dear close friends of mine today. I just got back from Los Angeles 4 weeks ago. Mick's wife, his 2 kids, Eric Cardona, John Fincher, his girlfriend. I mean, we all got together. We had a mind-blowing time of like the most epic reunion in the history of the world of Survivor friends getting together. And we have not seen each other since 2009, Thanksgiving Day. They all came to my sister's house in Orange County. Yasmin was there, Mick, Jason, Eric, somebody else. Anyways.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Day was when the Survivor, when they were rolling the credits.
Yeah.
Shows me sitting underneath the banana tree singing to the lizard, the Eye of the Tiger, and the camera crew, because I mean, we're not supposed to talk to anybody. Good luck with that. I knew all the camera crew. I knew how many kids they had. I knew their girlfriends, their boyfriends, it was all men on my side, but it was just a party out there, just talking to these people. It was hilarious.
Yeah. But so they sent you to Foa, and you didn't get to have the steaks, but how did you get hurt?
In a van ride.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's something I'm supposed to probably ever talk about.
Yeah.
Because, the thing is, I think it's a real spoiler for people that have their idealistics about watching us walk down the beach with a torch and the helicopter flying along, and they're like, "How far did you have to walk to Tribal?"
Yeah.
It's in that line of things.
Get it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
But I think most of the people that listen to this podcast know there's a little bit of a suspension of belief when it comes down to how they make the show versus what they see on television.
And I have no idea. The first podcast I've ever listened to in my life was yesterday.
Wow.
I didn't really even know what a podcast really meant. So I was like, when I went to LA and saw the guys and we were hanging out 4 weeks ago, they were like, Eric Cardona is so hilarious. He just kept saying, "Sham, you don't understand. The whole world loves you. You're like everybody's favorite. And you need your own podcast." And I'm like, dude, I don't even know what that means. I mean, T-Bird's been calling me for years saying, "Shambo, you need to get on the podcast with me and Rob." And I'm like, I don't even know what that meant. It's not my world. Mm-hmm. If I'm not outside building something or doing something, or on my boat or playing with my dogs or pruning the apricot tree or picking plums or apples or something, that's just, a computer is not my wife had to set this up for me.
Yeah.
I don't even own a computer.
Tell Rob who you listened to yesterday.
What did you listen to?
I listened to the Jason.
Yeah. Wasn't that cool? He went to space.
Oh, I know. He called me the day he went to space. He was in Texas. The phone rings and I go, "Oh my God." I go, "Jason Robbins, you're on my list for not calling me." He goes, Shambo, I'm buzzed right now. I love you. If I don't come back I'm going to space. I said, "I know, you're going Blue Origin." My friend Jason works for Blue Origin in Kent. And he's like, "That's the people." He goes, "I was down there yesterday." I said, "I know. He called me and told me you were in the building and you were going to space." He goes, but if I don't get to come back from space, I wanted to tell you I love you and you're my favorite." I was like, "Oh my God, you're hilarious."
Very fun.
He is precious, though. He's probably the most well-spoken human that I've ever spoke to in my entire life. So I had a blast listening to him on the island. Oh my God, we were pretty inseparable when I was over there for 6 days.
It must have been so interesting for you that you had like these 2 night and day experiences where your tribe largely, and you mentioned Eric, was a friend, and John, but largely like you didn't get along great with a lot of the people that were from Galu, but you had such great relationships with the people from the other tribe. And I think there's very few people in the history of Survivor that have had that sort of situation where they don't get along at all with their original tribe, but then they fit in like a hand in a glove with the other tribe.
Yeah, that does happen a lot in the later seasons. I think it's from mainly people watching the show that have seen it, for the last 20, 25 years, just trying to like emulate what they've seen on television instead of just being, and seeing and saying, "Hey man, cool. I like
And
that.
your
Or
season,
I dig your attitude. You know what I mean?
yeah, and it happened to have that dynamic where that a person would go over, so it really, worked out so well for you.
Oh, it did totally.
Yeah.
It was wonderful because I really needed that at that time because those guys were giving me the love and I was trying to share with them my knowledge of outdoors and starting fires and dig the fire pit out, put the coal down. The coal is the black coral because it's so porous, it sucks the water out when it's pouring down rain, doing runoffs on 4 sides of the fireplace and sitting there and teaching them how to shave with a piece of coral so you can make sawdust to start it if you have a little bit of coals left. So it's just, it's outdoor stuff. And Bear Giles, oh my God, Bear Giles really helped me with hints and, tricks and stuff like that. And then just field marine stuff like taking vines and running them from the fireplace to where my Shambo shack was at night so I wouldn't trip and fall and get hurt, or setting up clotheslines so our stuff can dry after the monsoon, or building water runoffs with, taking the machete. I remember me and John Fincher taking the machete. I'm like, Johnny, go get me a piece of bamboo out of the forest. So he went and got a piece of bamboo and I'm like, stand on that end on it. And then I got Eric, and me and Eric were taking the machete and we were splitting the piece of bamboo and we put them up on top of the shelter and we caught the water because we couldn't boil water for like 6 or 7 days. So we had water, which gave all of us dysentery, but that's another story. At least we had water and we didn't drop dead. So that's good.
Yeah. And I think you played on one of, and maybe T-Bird, you might push back on this, but the worst weather conditions maybe of any season of Survivor. I think of the 48 seasons that we've seen so far, off the top of my head, I think that maybe Samoa was the worst weather of any season.
It was breaking us. Our hands, me and Jason's hands, like if you go back and look, our fingers were probably over 2 inches in diameter. They were completely splitting and oozing, and it was horrendous. And I was really happy. A lot of people are like, I can't believe they put them up in a hotel because they were having a tropical storm and you guys lived through. And I'm like, you know what? I'm happy that it's more humane. I'm glad that it's a shorter season now. I'm glad that we are the only season to not have rice and beans that I'm aware of, because I was a Survivor junkie, completely, totally. I was like, I can do this. I don't think I'm going to win $1 million, but if I do, then I can go do a USO tour, because we're talking post 9/11, and we were in a lot of countries back then. We were in Iraq, we were in Pakistan, the military was everywhere. Go back to 2009, Google it. How many countries the United States military was in? And I thought, I grew up with Bob Hope doing USO tours. And I was like, well, I'm a lesbian and I have a mullet and I'm not that great to look at, but I could probably really cheer the troops up.
Yes,
it's silly me. What am I thinking? But I thought that I might just do that if I wanted. But you know what I most wanted to do? I wanted to do a cooking segment with Al Roker.
With Al Roker? Why Al Roker?
Dude, I love that guy. His personality and mine.
He went to my college, SUNY Oswego. Yeah.
I love that guy. I love that guy.
But does Al Roker do a lot of cooking segments?
Are you kidding me? CBS Morning, Al Roker, like the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't know.
No, Rob said cooking shows. Has Al done a lot of cooking on it?
No, how they have guest chefs now?
Yeah.
Turn the clock back 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Al was always doing cooking stuff.
Okay.
Cooking with Al Roker was one of their segments.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Sham, I want to take you back to day 27, which I think it's a day you probably like. Day 27 during the game.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I know. Hey, there's certain things off limits, but I think I can bring this up. So
Okay.
I just want to know, how do you think? I mean, Natalie White, the winner, crowned the winner of your season, but it was a tie that night, day 27, between Laura and Natalie. And it went back to vote. How would the game have been different, or what would have happened to the winner of that season had Natalie been voted out that night instead of Laura?
Well,
It'd have been Shambo.
Galu Strong came through because I took John Fincher up the mountain.
Yeah.
And I said, John, I'm going to make you a deal you cannot refuse. If Laura wins the challenge, we know it's going to be a tie. The second time around, you got to vote with me. You're voting her out. He goes, well, what if? I said, no what ifs. Yes or no? He goes, well, what does that mean for when they come for me? I'm like, John, I will vote with you the rest of the season. I don't care. I do not care. I will vote with you the rest of the season. Whatever you say, I will just do blindly. And you know that I'm not going to lie to you. You know that I am honorable, most honorable person out on this island. He goes, well, yeah, you need to become the chief again. And I'm like, we don't need a chief right now, dude. We're good. We're merged. We're okay. So that was how that went down. And there is no what ifs in Survivor. The writing's on the wall. It is what it is. I wrote this down last night because I needed to. Hold on one second. You ready for this?
Yeah.
There are 3 categories. There's Eric Cardona, who I lovingly call E-Bear. Love you, E-Bear. There is...
I love E-Bear too.
Oh my God.
I'm so happy that you're still seeing him because he was one of my favorites from that season.
I was so mind blown when they did that to him to this day. Okay, so we got E-Bear, we got Brett, we got Natalie, we got Jasmine, we have Marissa, John, Jason, Mick, Ash, and Betsy are all in the lift others up, kind human column.
Yeah.
And then we have Russell, Dave, Laura, Ben, Liz, and Kelly that are in the, hey, notice me, I'm an unhappy human.
Yeah.
So I need to be mean to people. Like, I'm in high school, and if I stand on someone's head and beat them up, I will be noticed. Column, which is, I just hope that in their lives, they're happy with what they're doing, and they're healthy, and they're prosperous, and they're raising their next generation to not defeat others with their bad things they have to say about people, because it disgusts me to no end. It is the bane of my existence, people that bully people.
Yeah.
And I was bullied. I mean, there's just, oh my God, no two ways about it. So I'm happy that I have my beautiful friendships with my guys, and Jasmine and Ashley. And I mean, Betsy and Marissa getting voted off. If I would have been on that tribe with Russ, yeah, that wouldn't have happened.
You said there were 3 categories of people. There was the lift people up, and then there were the stand on people's head. And what's the 3rd category?
I'm gonna say Russell Hantz was in a category of his own of really desperate.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's my word.
Yeah.
Because that can mean anything, but it's not for me to say what. But I perceive him as an incredibly desperate human being.
Shambo, you didn't mention this person. I know she lifted you up with her singing on the island. Rob, you've got that.
Singing?
Okay.
Singing. You can't understand my accent.
Here we go. Sam, can you play this clip?
Well, it's been a long day, but I couldn't let the day pass without saying hello. And it don't have to be this way. Baby, why don't you stay? hi, Shambo.
Is that Monica?
This is
This
Monica
is my new little
Padilla.
guy, and I wanted to say hi and to say that we miss you, and
Bonnie,
we hope you're
looks
having an amazing
beautiful.
podcast with T-Bird. Just thought I'd pop in and say hello and sing you a little tune, just like our old days by the fire.
In the morning.
Yes.
In
You
the
say bye,
morning.
Shambo.
Say bye, Shambo.
Bye, baby.
Bye. Love you.
Yeah, I didn't know. Monica Padilla was a singer.
Monty, oh my God. I felt so bad for her because she was so young.
Mhm.
You know, she was, Ashley and Monica were both so young.
25, just 25.
They were the age I was when I got out of the Marine Corps, for God's sake. They were just kids. And Monica got swept up by the BS on the Purple Tribe of, you know, be a bully, stay with us, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't until some of the meanie pants got booted
Mhm.
that she just started to thrive. I mean, I remember her birthday out there on the 28th. It was her birthday. And I was like, Monty, I'd make you a coconut cream pie, you know, but it would just give you diarrhea. So we're not going to do that. And she was like, Shambo, you're hilarious. She's like, I just really don't want to get voted off on my 28th birthday or 26th birthday. I think her 26th birthday was on the 28th was what I remember, but I don't even know if that's right. But the day that everybody decided to vote poor E-Bear out, she came up to me just bawling on the beach. I said, Monty, what's going on? Are you okay? She's like, Sham, what happened? What happened to Galu? And she's bawling, right? I mean, like she's doing that. And I was like, Monica, newsflash, there is no Galu. They imploded on themselves. It's a free-for-all. And she was like, what? What do you mean there's no Galu? And she was mortally devastated. And it broke my heart for her because at the end of the day, she forgot it was a game and she has a life. And she has a beautiful family. Her mom and her big sister are like her power source in life. And, you know, it's cool because she was the one that reached out to me about 3 months ago and said, hey, Sham, it's Monty. I said, hey, Monty, what's going on? She goes, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that John Fincher's got stage 4 colon cancer and he's got to GoFundMe. I said, oh my God, thank you for letting me know. I'll get it out there. But she was the one that reached out to me and told me. So thank you, Monica.
Yeah. You said you saw John recently. How was he doing?
He has been through almost 5 years of colon cancer removal and chemo. And now he's on a trial that it's going really good for him. He's starting to gain weight. He's dropped dead sexy. He's thriving right now.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Definitely.
Yeah. That's incredible. I had seen the GoFundMe a couple of months ago, and I saw that he was trying in line to get this experimental treatment, and I didn't know how it was going, and that's incredible news.
It's going really, really, really good. He just texted me last night, so yeah, we were sending each other pictures from our vacation.
Yeah. And you two were such an interesting duo in Survivor, where he came in as the rocket scientist and
he's brilliant. I'm bronze.
Yeah. And it was such a fun pairing to have you two, have to work together in Survivor.
We got to. We didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know if you guys know this, but it was the third or fourth day on Survivor. And I kept telling, I call them the kids because all these guys were like 15, 20 years younger than me. I'm like, you guys, the sun is going to go down, because I did a sundial down on the beach. I'm like, the sun is going to be down in like 5 to 7 minutes. We got to get everything cleaned up around the fire. Somebody's going to get hurt. John stepped on the machete. Somebody stuck the machete in the rocks on the fireplace. And if this is his foot, his heel was taken off about 2.5 inches. So I went into the forest and I found some noni, which is a natural antiseptic. See, this is just Dr. Shannon. I went and got this natural antiseptic, and I got some really, really, really tiny leaves and vines. And I did a compress on his foot, and the medics were telling me, Shambo, if you wouldn't have done that, not only would he have been out of the game, he would have had a severe infection. It could have gotten really bad. And I'm like, I knew I was going to Samoa because there was a leak on our season of where the next survivor was going to be. So I started researching all the bad foods and the good foods and the anything that was going to help me with this situation, but basically medical stuff. So yeah, John and I were just talking. I was looking at his foot when I was at his house 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm like, Johnny, let me see your heel. How did your foot heal up? And he's like, Shambo, look. And his girlfriend's like, what are you guys doing? And he's like telling the story to his girlfriend. And it was just really precious. I was so happy that I was there to help my friend. It was huge. Because he would have left. He couldn't have helped me vote her off if he wouldn't have been there.
That'd have been another medical evacuation. If not,
he would have been. He absolutely would have been he would have been medically evacuated factually, without a doubt. And then we would have been down to 8. And then Jasmine wanted to go home, so she was the first victim. But everybody's got their lot in life. Craziness though, right?
Shambo, I'm curious. This is kind of the nowadays. Are you still a smoker?
Oh, hell no.
Did you quit when you came back, or?
Oh, no. The first thing I did was I got voted off. I got put in a vehicle. I got given a bag with peanut butter, a Snickers bar, a jar of peanut butter, a Snickers bar, I think a Hershey almond bar, and something else. And I think I ate all of it. And then I went back, and then everybody was really mean to me because they were happy that I got voted off because I helped get most of them voted off. And they were calling me traitorous, which I wasn't traitorous. I didn't vote Galu out. They did it. I think I was the only one that didn't vote for Eric that night. But they turned on them, and that's their stuff to own, not mine. Shambo is not traitorous.
Yep.
But I barfed my head off, and Laura actually let me have her Quonset hut instead of sleeping in a tent, and I got to take a shower. I took a shower for like 3 hours, and then I slept until tribal the next day, which was day 37.
Yeah.
And did you have a cigarette? And did you have a cigarette?
Oh my God, I had about 60.
Well,
yeah.
That might have been why you were sick.
No.
No,
the brain doesn't forget.
Mm-hmm.
It had only been like 66 days since I had smoked. So, yeah.
Shambo, have you had stayed in contact with Natalie White?
I've asked Ashley, I've asked Monica, I've asked Russell, I've asked everybody that I'm in contact with, which is like 11 people. Yeah. I mean, no one knows how to get in touch with her.
You're off the grid. She's really off the grid.
Yeah.
But that's her choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I like I told Monty, if you get a hold of her, tell her that I love her and I'm here. And if she needs a friend in a support role, pick me. So
yeah. Well, Shambo, you and John, I believe you're the only two people that voted for Russell.
True.
Do you feel like do you stand by that? You feel like that you both got it right, or do you feel like that if you had to do it over again, you would have voted with for Natalie?
Oh, there's no way. No. There's not another possibility. I mean, outwit. Who outwitted?
Russell? Yeah.
Who else? Who outplayed? Him standing there with Brett with that stick with that little saucer on top. I mean, by all rights, that was God's divine intervention that kept his hand steady, because Brett at that point was stronger because our tribe was winning challenges. Russ's wasn't.
Yeah.
Outplay. Oh my God, are you kidding me? It's the premise of Survivor. It's not don't vote for the person that you hate the most. You never heard those words come out of Jeff Probst's mouth, right?
Yeah.
It's not part of the game.
So I had heard Russell tell a story a long time ago. I'd love to just get your side of it. That he told a story back when he used to do his podcast about that he was under the impression that he had won Survivor Samoa. That this was back when they didn't used to do the live vote reveal, and he, from what I remember, spoke to you, and you had to break the news to him. Oh, Russell, you don't think you won, did you?
Oh, I think I remember this. This was when we were in wardrobe right before the show, before we went to the green room.
Oh, this was at the finale.
Yes.
Yes.
We didn't get to talk to Russ when the final three came back to Samoa, to Ponderosa.
Yeah.
Russ wasn't with them. They flew him back to Louisiana because he agreed to go on the next Survivor.
Heroes versus Villains. Yeah.
That started in 19 days. So he needed to get home. But that's when I got pulled aside and they said, will you go? And I'm like, you have lost your damn mind. I mean, are you crazy? There is no way in God's green earth. I'm 45. My neck is dislocated. I'm on painkillers and anti-inflammatories. I can't turn my head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a no-brainer for me the night that I got voted off. But I had relationships with everybody that was there, you know, Nat and Russ and Jay and Mick. And Mick and I, a week before this, after they did the shitty on Eric at the merge on day 19, I walked up to Mick. I said, hey, Mick, come here. I go, let's go down to the water. He goes, okay, Sham, what's going on? And Mick's the nicest man on the planet. Oh my God. If you guys knew him, you have to get him on a podcast because he's precious. He's completely open book, beautiful human being, precious. Tender soul, honest to God. So we go down to the beach and I go, okay, Mick, here's the deal. Me and you, nobody else. If you hear Shambo's going home tonight, we're going to have like a secret handshake at Tribal when we're in the hut before we get, called up to Prost. And he goes, but what if they say my name? I go, dude, either one of us, that's our jam. We're going to be there for each other. If I hear your name, I will tell you. If you hear my name, you tell me. So it's night 36, right? So Russ is spinning with all the poa. Shambo's going home. She's hurt. She can't do anything. They're giving her painkillers before challenges. We're not going to be able to, take her. And Mick's like, well, I don't want to vote for Shambo. Russ is like, none of us want to vote for Shambo, but somebody's got to be able to help us beat Brett. And Mick was like, yeah, she can't really help us do that right now. So we're in the hut, right? And they're micing us up and everything, and rip your shirt off, get your bra hooked into the microphone, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And Mick looks at me. He goes, Sham. He came over and he did the secret handshake. It's you. And then I did the secret handshake and I said, no, Mick, it's you. He goes, and then he slapped his leg. And I go, oh my God, are you serious? I go, I'm so glad you and I went and harvested all that coral because we spent the entire afternoon picking up teeny little tiny pieces of shells and coral because I wanted it for all my brothers and sisters, my 14 nieces and nephews, my friends from work. I wanted to make them rawhide necklaces from Samoa for my experience because I thought that would be really cool. So Mick and I spent like 4.5 hours on the beach picking all this coral. He goes, do you have your coral? And I go, I got my coral. He goes, are you going to be okay? I said, yeah, dude, I get to eat chocolate and have a shower. Mm-hmm. I get to have a pillow. He goes, Shambo, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm like, baby, it's okay. I mean, he's a competitor, for God's sake.
Yeah.
So, but was there a time that they thought about pulling you out of the game if they were giving you pain meds? And
I begged them to on day 13. They wouldn't.
To pull you out.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, there was no way. You know how they have the guy that's in charge of the camera crew? What's that called?
Camera crew.
No, not the camera crew. The guy that's, dang it, I can't remember now. Like there was a lady on FOFO. We had a guy. He was a young producer. Thank you. Because the producers were like, after I injured my neck, they were waking me up at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to do an interview, right? And that day after I got hurt, I was like, they came and they were kicking my feet because my feet were sticking out, and then I had put bamboo through one of the banana trees, but there was a root that wrapped around, so I could curl up really tiny with my head on a root, and then my right foot could stick out, but my left foot was tucked in next to the tree, and I would just change the bedding in that thing every day because it was so damn wet. And they were kicking me, and I said, you kick me again, I'm going to pick up one of these pieces of bamboo and knock you out. Stop kicking me. He's like, you need to get up. You got to get up right now and do an interview. I said, I've decided I'm not doing interviews anymore. And he goes, Shambo, it's part of your contract. I go, what are you really going to do to me? Are you kidding me right now? I'm in the middle of the Samoan jungle. I'm a former United States Marine Corps Sergeant, Field Marine. What are you really going to do to me? And he was just flustered. He was absolutely flustered. He was like, and then they went and got.
The dogs are getting upset hearing about it.
Yeah. Nah, they're good. They know mommy rocks. So long story short, the next day, Pros pulls me off to the side at a challenge, and he goes, hey, Shambo, we've seen all your interviews. We've seen who you're voting for. We ask you questions. You're 100% honest. Going forward, we're not going to ask you who you're voting for. I'm going to ask you before tribal, and that's going to be good enough for us. And we're not going to be waking you up in the middle of the night to do, interviews to the extent that we have been in the past. We need you to stay here. You and Russ are an integral part of our show on the two tribes. And I was like, okay, but I'm telling you, man, this is not okay. What does it take to get out of here? Because I'm not okay. I mean, this is, a previous injury. So he was just like, we got your passport. We got your ID. We got your money. You're in a foreign country. And I think we just need you to stick it out. Can you do that for me? And I was like, I'll try.
Did you ever consider asking people to vote you out?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I was going to vote myself out. And then Russ told me that I couldn't, that I would lose the profits. And I was like, what profits? He goes, Shannon, you get paid for every day that you're here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We get paid? No idea.
Yeah.
So like, if not being a computer person, an internet person, a person that is computerly inclined.
Yeah.
I didn't know the other side of anything. I had no idea. I went out there to play Survivor. I think it was me, Barazi, Jason, and Chief Russell.
Yeah.
We were the 4 people out of 20 that applied. Russ Hantz applied to go on
Pirate Master.
There was another one too. He did 2 applications. His second the one where they race around the world.
Amazing Race.
Yeah. He applied for that one too.
So, Shambo, you had such a good relationship with Mick, but at the final tribal council, as we were talking about earlier, you called him feckless. Did Mick do something that bothered you, that you called him a coward in that moment?
Coward to me is not feckless. It was not standing up to Russ. It was not standing up to Russ the entire process.
Yeah.
That was it in a nutshell. Because Russ was a bully and Mick is kind. If I had it to do over again, I probably would have said, you are the kindest, gentlest soul on the planet, and you should have stood up to Russ instead of calling him a name. If I could take that back, I would.
Okay.
Because it's the truth, But feckless just popped in my head because my wife is Captain Vocabulary. So whenever I hear a really cool, catchy word, I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? How do I use that in a sentence?
Shambo, I want to mention, I know you watched all the seasons, and season 47 aired not too long ago, and you reached out to me about a player that really caught your attention, that you really felt for and really you felt like you had a connection with. So
I was worried for her going home.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah. Here we have another clip for you, Shambo. Here you go.
Oh, wow.
What's up, Shambo? It's Teeny here from Survivor 47. And T-Bird reached out to let me know that you were going on Talking with T-Bird, which, one, I am absolutely so excited to listen to. And two, I am just so honored that anything that I did on Survivor or in life resonated with you, because as a longtime Survivor fan and watcher, I distinctly remember watching Survivor Samoa and being quite literally obsessed with you on the show. And that has carried into my adulthood, that has carried into my time out there on the island. And it will never not feel surreal that people like you were able to see something in me. And I can't wait for our paths to cross. And I'm so excited that I get to say hello to you via one of the best RHAP podcasts in the game. So much love to you. I can't wait to hear everything that you're up to now and all the things that you guys are going to get into. You are an inspiration to me and to so many others, and I cannot overstate how much I am touched by the fact that I even get to know you and that you know who I am. So much love to you. I hope you're having a wonderful summer, and all the best.
There you go. There's Teeny.
Wow. You know, oh man, I wish that kid would have been on my tribe, because I would have just tucked her in under Mama Bear Wing and said, do not apologize to these men for wishing that you were big and strong. Do not diminish your God-given abilities. Accentuate them, put them into the world, go out there and lift everybody up, because it cost you nothing. It cost you nothing, Teeny. I swear to God. You know, it's like when she got voted out and she was crumbled when the wind changed.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was screaming, literally screaming at the TV, trying not to wake anybody up in my family, which is impossible with two golden retrievers barking because I'm screaming. And they're like, where's the bad guy, Mommy? Where's the gun? Anyways, I wanted to jump into the television and take her shoulders and turn her to block the frickin' wind. That's what I wanted to do for Teeny. And I wanted to talk to her. I called T-Bird. I'm like, you have to have Teeny on your show. You need to make sure this girl is okay, because I was pretty beat up after my season. I mean, you know, when the shrink's telling you she's never seen a verbal lashing like I took from people at Ponderosa up to the day that we left, I was alienated.
Yeah.
It was hostile. So, I mean, I was a 45-year-old woman that had lived, you know, a long time on the planet. And I was just really afraid that when I see people like her, and then there was, Ashley was telling me about, she was friends with one of the ladies that was out of Michigan, tall, skinny gal, blonde, older. She was like 41. Do you know who I'm talking about?
From your season?
No, she was like 2 seasons before Teeny's.
Okay. Tall, skinny woman, blonde, from 2 seasons before Teeny.
Yeah.
And where is she from?
Michigan. Oh, no, Minnesota.
Oh, Carolyn.
Yes.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to Carolyn too and just say, you know what? You need to book a flight to Seattle. You need to come spend the day with me, because we are just going to have a love motivational seminar about all your attributes, how wonderful you are. And I want you to charge into the world and let everybody know.
Yeah.
Because that's what people need. You know, everybody needs somebody to champion them. And I grew up being championed by my parents, my brothers and sisters, my coaches, everybody. But I mean, even my 8th grade teacher, Mrs. Seeley, what a wonderful human. What a wonderful human. Such a dyslexic little Shannon in her brain. So ADD, I can hardly sit down, bouncing off the chairs. You know, all these teachers would always stick me in the front row because they could look at me and go, Shannon, close your mouth, especially Catholic school. I mean, until they bust out the rule. Sister Carol, oh my God, somebody save me. Yeah, that's another story. That's another podcast right there. Catholic school with Shannon Waters. Oh my God.
You know, again, I know how you know how you feel about bullies, and I know how you feel about heroes, and you certainly absolutely are a hero.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me aggravate you for 6+ years. It was worth the wait for me. It was worth the wait.
Awesome.
Yeah. I really just got so much from you from this conversation about how, you know, you're really all about building other people up. I really got that from you. You are such a great storyteller. You have such a amazing memory for detail of down to what people were wearing when you had these interactions with them, what exactly they said.
It's my head. It's swear to God, it is.
That it makes you more locked in. It gives you like a even better memory.
Like before I was 20 years old, I have like, oh my God, like I'm sitting here right here today. It's my 3rd birthday. My mom walks out with this big box, and it was the little red jacket that we saw at JCPenney's downtown Seattle in the bargain basement, and she put it on layaway. It was $27. Don't ask me how I know this. This memory is like, at 61 years old, locked in my head forever. And she walked out with my little birthday cake. It was a little chocolate birthday cake that she decorated. Sean was sitting here. Aaron was sitting here. The baby was in the house. The older brothers and sisters were obviously in school because Aaron was 5, Sean was 4, and I was 3. And I didn't even blow my cake out. I ripped that box out open, knowing that it was my little red jacket that I saw 6 months earlier. And she said, well, we have to ask Dad. We need to see if we could put it on layaway. I mean, who gets to have that? I have so many memories of the first year of my life. And it always, it's like my head injuries in the Marine Corps and car accidents and the incident in Korea getting and blown up and in a fire. And it's just, it like locked my brain down from memories. Like if it's post 20 years old, there's way less detail. And like even now, like when I meet somebody, I got to meet them like 6 to 10 times. And then I'm like, oh yeah, we met at the winery, or I'll say something like that, you know, wherever I think that I met them. And they're like, no, I met you at Safeway. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. But it's like my memory, nothing compared to what.
Shambo, the first 3 years we were talking, you called me T-Bone, and I never
T-Bone.
She called me T-Bone, and I thought that's pretty cute. I'll go with it.
I did.
You always called me T-Bone, so
I've always called you T-Bone.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it too. I actually like it too. So Sham, I want to make sure, because we talked about about getting John Fisher's GoFundMe page out there.
Well, actually, there's more. There's more than that. There's John Fincher's GoFundMe is very important to me. But
Yes.
can I just give you probably the most important thing in the universe to me?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Have you guys ever heard of the TV show Survival Mode?
Survival Mode.
Yep.
No.
I don't think I have, Sham.
Survival Mode airs 8:00 on Wednesdays, and it is the most tragic incidents that people have lived through. But most importantly, this one, which was season 1, episode 2, we just watched it last Wednesday, me and Eva. We were reduced to bawling like our entire families had been decimated, killed, murdered, and we couldn't function, was how we felt after watching this show, to the point of reaching out to the people that were in the Lahaina wildfires 2 years ago. Do you remember the
Yes.
Lahaina wildfires?
Yes. Maui.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Captain Chrissy Lovett and her wife, Emma Nelson, and their golden retriever started a GoFundMe for the entire Maui circuit, for all the business owners, all the homeowners, everybody that lost. And Lahaina is still not rebuilt today. So Captain Chrissy has been a vessel captain for 25 years up there, and she's a national. She's born there. They have the Lahaina Wildfire Relief, which is their old GoFundMe from 23 when this happened. In addition to, she's the owner of the new Maui Ocean Adventures vessel that they've scraped all their money together and their family to be able to take the survivors on an annual trip to have a great day and go whale watching,
Wow.
to give back to their community. Their golden retriever got cancer during the fires 3 weeks ago. Macy got her leg cut off, and she's undergoing chemotherapy, and this dog's turning 12 on September 13th, which is my puppy's turning 2 on that day. And Eva and I have had 5 golden retrievers. So we do a lot of golden retriever rescue, rehome, bring them in, train them, get them healthy, feed them. Then we'll take a vacation and we'll drive. Like we went to, where the hell did we go? We went to South Dakota 2 years ago to drop a dog off that we had for 4 months named Chloe. And I bawled. I'm telling you, man, I bawled when I dropped that dog off because I wanted that dog, but she was a big girl. But we found, get this, you're never going to believe this, the breeder that called me and said, Shambo, can you go rescue another dog? I was like, yeah, where is it? She goes, it's up in Seattle. I go, where? She goes, Auburn. I go, what's going on? Dog's locked in a kennel. I'm not talking like a kennel that's 6x8. I'm talking like a cargo box, like you would fly a dog in. Lived in it for 3 years. Went to the bathroom in it. Ate in it.
Yeah.
Wasn't allowed to walk on the grass. I mean, it was horrendous. So Chloe lived with us. We got her happy, loved, healthy. The breeder called to check on me after I picked her up. And she said, you know, the lady that first wanted that dog, that she couldn't go get her because she's down in Arizona. She's a tax lady. It was just terrible. She had Chloe's sister from the first litter. Chloe was from the second litter. Same parents. Eva and I got in our motorhome with Bravo, and we drove to South Dakota and brought this lady her dog. And we are still dear friends today. We used to talk like 3 times a week, but summertime's kind of busy. So we haven't talked that often, but this year we went on a vacation to South Dakota. We brought both of our golden retrievers in our motorhome, and we took one of our Can-Am Spiders because we're motorcycle chicks, but we're too old for this shit now. So now we need training wheels basically in the front, because if Eva's Harley that was a trike has a wheel on the front. If that wheel blows, you're dust, bro. You know what I'm saying, Rob?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you got 2 wheels, if those wheels start to deflate on a Can-Am Spider, it shuts your engine down and it slows you down like a compressor brake.
Yeah.
So it's way, 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 way safer. So we brought one of those. We rode the Black Hills. We bucket frickin' list. Look, I haven't even said the F word once today. That's amazing, cussy mouth. You guys know the Needles Highway in South Dakota?
I don't.
Black Hills, South Dakota. Swear to God. Okay. You're really happy you got to meet me today. You know why?
Why?
Because the Needles Highway has stalagmites that are like 180 feet tall from the Ice Age. And there's caves. There's caves that you drive through. They're like 34, 36 feet long, 8 feet, 4 inches. If you're in a truck, you have to fold your mirrors in to get through there. So Eva drove my Spider up to the highway to the tallest point, right? And I was videotaping her in the rental car. And then on the way back, it was my turn. dude, I was 19. I was freaking crushing it. I was on 2 wheels on the corners on this thing doing about 50 miles an hour, and I couldn't move. I mean, my shoulders, my hands, my elbows, my hip hurt so bad. I felt like I get hit by a semi because I was riding like that for like an hour. I got a little carried away, but I got my memory.
Yeah.
Shambo, I think you definitely need your own podcast. You wouldn't even need guests to be on. It could just be you.
No, I would want to have you on, T-Bone.
Yeah, T-Bone would be great.
That's hilarious. Rob, I love the goatee.
Oh, Shambo, thank you so much. And this is
Look.
Yeah, thank you,
Are you
Shambo.
Italian?
I am.
You're really handsome for a man.
Nobody's ever said that to me before.
I know it's a Shambo original.
It's a Shambo original. I'm gonna get that on a pillow.
Oh my God, it's not hilarious. You know, when I was a chef at the Seattle Butcher restaurant for my birthday, I pulled my whole crew together. It's like, I don't know, 9 or 11 guys. And I'm like, okay, you guys, my birthday is next Thursday. This was on a Monday because I had inventory that day because I wasn't supposed to be working, but I was because I did inventory. I said, you guys, we're going to have a contest. Whoever can grow the most beautiful goatee that's perfectly groomed, that I say is the best goatee, gets to come to my house and I will cook you dinner. They were all in. So it started a thing because for the next 3 years, we had Shambo's birthday goatee party. So, and then we started inviting everybody over once a month, and then I would cook for my crew. So that was really fun too.
Yeah. What's your best dish that you make, Shambo? It's your specialty.
It just depends what environment you're working in. If you're working in hotels, your menus are pretty much your menus from corporate. If you're working for a private entity like Schwartz Brothers, the restaurants that I worked for, I think I was there about 11 years, probably. Oh, I know. My sous chef, Chris Genovese, is going to love this, that I just said his name on TV. You ready for this?
Ready.
Veal Chambolini.
Veal Chambolini. Is that an original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What's it like? What's a veal Chambolini?
Veal demi-glaze with roasted shallots and basil chiffonade.
Okay. What do you think, T-Bone? You in?
I'm in.
The crowd goes wild.
Oh my God, out of the park, right?
Mm-hmm.
Italian cooking is my beloved. I was classically trained in Italian for Cucina restaurants. Opened up, I helped open 4 of them with Bill Beck, one of my mentors, and Ted First from Seattle. And these guys were just, I mean, Ted's Italian. He's like, he taught me everything that I knew about Italian cooking. Like, you know, the basics of Italian cooking from the ground up. I was so blessed to work with this guy. He's phenomenal. And he's handsome like you. True story.
Hold on a minute.
There you go. Thank you, T-Bone.
T-Bone, what's the ding? What's the ding?
What's the
ding?
What's the bell? Look. Shambo, do you see that little bell right there over RHAP? That's his signature. Right, Rob? Tell it.
Yeah, when we try to make a point, we try to like
when we say something that's really important, like how good he looks, we
really like punctuate it.
Yeah, like that's right. Boom.
That's right.
Oh, I have one more thing I want to show you guys.
What is it?
I have to show you this before we leave. Okay. So I turned 60 last April, and Eva got online and made me
Shambo buff.
My very own birthday buff.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna show it to everybody.
Nice.
Season 19, 60th Shambo. Yes.
Established in Renton, Washington. So all my friends that were under 45 got the peach colored ones. All of my friends that were over 45 got the blue ones, and they were blue and green and yellow, which is my high school colors, Hazen Highlanders, class of 82. What?
Yeah.
So we had Survivor games at my friend Jeff Irwin's house in Renton, Washington, and there was about 140 people there, a bunch of people from high school, people from that I played sports with, softball, basketball, track. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
And the party was positively epic. I built the whole set like it was an actual television show on Survivor.
Wow. 140 people is a wedding. That's not a birthday party.
No, it was definitely my birthday party. It's my
Yeah.
hometown. It's my hometown.
That's just a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's-
People must, you must have made such a big impact on so many people
Yeah,
to
but
have
a lot of it is
140
the-
people turn out.
It's not just my friends. It's okay. When you're a chef in Seattle, you probably know at least 5,000 people that have worked for you in 20 years, right?
Yeah.
You have 400 customers times 24. So what's that? 1,600 people there that know me well, that see me every single week, same time, same day. They set their watch by me in sales. You have 7 older brothers and sisters and a little sister. You have the coolest mom and the most productive dad that ever walked the face of the earth. My mom started girls soccer for me in 1971. She sat down at her typewriter and she said, my daughter Shannon has been out there for 3 years playing every day with her brother Sean, and she's absolutely as good. And it's not fair to these little girls, because she's got 6 daughters, right? No wonder she started girls soccer. So my mom was the first woman's soccer commissioner in the state of Washington. We did the state tournaments. We did the 3 people referees, 2 of us kids and mom. Mom would either be a line judge, and me or Sean or Aaron or Donna would be the referee. And then the other 2 would be the line judges. We got paid. I mean, it was the time of my life. Seattle Times did an interview on my mom, and it just made me cry because I'm so proud of my mom. League of Women voters, Boy Scouts, Campfire Girls. See, I got a lot of trouble with Campfire Girls because my mom was the mint mom for the whole city. Sean and I used to sneak in the garage and eat the mints. Chocolate. Yeah, I'm trying to work on that. It's not going so well.
Shambo and Rob, I'm listening to your stories and how you still incorporate Survivor into your life now. And what a beautiful thing that we all 3 got to do. And it's still such a big part of our lives. It's really a very, very cool thing. And it's brought us 3 together, which otherwise we would have probably never met.
That's so true.
It's such a connection and a bond. It's really fantastic.
It's really special to me right now, just having seen Eber, Mick, and John, and seeing their worlds today, their wives, their girlfriends, their families, their stories. And we sat around Mick's dinner table. John and Mick were cooking like $300 worth of ribeyes. And Ursula, Mick's wife, who is a very wonderful, beautiful, cool, kick-ass human being. She has her own, I think I wrote this down too. You guys can't be done yet, okay?
Okay.
Shambo, we're not done until you're done.
Okay, here we go. Ursula Trimming is the law offices of Ursula Trimming, ESQ, and she does temporary work visas for people that are from other countries in California. How cool is that? Because there's a lot of corporations that need help placing people, but with the temperature and the climate with politics right now, it's kind of an unspoken no-no. So go, Ursula. I'm so proud of you. You're such a great woman. And Mick's an anesthesiologist at the Los Angeles, one of the hospitals there. I knew which one it was, and now I don't know. What else? So we got Eber is putting together information on a film, and it's called All is Fair in Love in Mexico. And I don't really know I don't know the entire premise of it, but he's really fired up about it. He's also, Eric Cardona has also co-authored a book, Pouring with Heart. It's about wine. It's about a bar. It's about
It's fiction?
I don't know. He's sending me the book. I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
But I can actually read a book now, so that's the good news. But he's just, little Eber was so shy out there. Day one, I grabbed
He was
him.
shy?
oh my God. I grabbed him on day one and I said, dude, come with me. We're going to go get vines. He goes, what are we doing with vines? I said, you can't build a shelter without a rope. That's our ropes. He was like, okay. So we get back 3 hours later. Girls are all sitting there doing their little sissy, make a floor mat for what possible reason it's going to get wet and disintegrate.
Those were their yoga mats, Shambo.
What? Oh, don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
No yoga fly zone. No, I lost the chicken because I didn't. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, honey. Oh, Eva said 2 hours later. Okay. I'm like, have you met me?
Eva, you know her better. You know her very well. You're not surprised.
But, you know, Shambo, just to echo what Teeny was saying about how, you know, Teeny watched you and was obsessed with you, you know, not only did you make this impact on people when the show aired back in the fall of 2009, but you probably could have never predicted that Survivor in the world of streaming would live on and that a new generations, plural, like would be watching you like every day. New people are watching you and probably being like very touched by your experience. And so I'm sure it's so meaningful to so many people to get to hear from you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
But I mean it. I think that people like that the fans, we really, you know, that resonate with these big characters from the years, and especially somebody like yourself who is not, you know, omnipresent on social media. Like, it's such a treat for us to hear from you.
Rob.
Yes.
I told T-Bird this yesterday on the phone when I was talking to her mom
about
college. So
I know what you're going to say, Shambo. Let me say it.
Go ahead.
She is not a character.
I'm sorry to say that.
She is herself. She is
You're
not
herself, but you're a one of a kind.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that to the bank all day long.
Yeah, and that you're a personality that people, as any Survivor fan, will never forget. There will never be another Shambo.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably a really good thing because I can be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very cool thing, Shambo. It's what I've been telling you for years.
I just want to say thank you for having Russell and Monica and Teeny on the show because that was really cool. I wish it could have been Ashley because Ash is definitely that's my kid from Survivor, man. That's my girl.
Hey, Shambo, I think it's only appropriate for us to go out the same way we came in. So how about a little theme song action? How about a little Eye of the Tiger?
You want singing is not in my repertoire. I'd be really famous. It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. How's that?
Go ahead. Give it to us. It's great.
I'm good, man.
That's all you know.
Yeah.
No, I know the whole song. I'm not going to punish America.
What's the best Rocky movie?
You know, it's got to be the original because Blood Kiss, getting freed out of the pet store, him and Adrian getting married, and the boys on the block singing the song and passing the wine bottle and hey, rock. It's like 10-year-old Shannon came running out of the Roxy Theater in Renton, Washington with my best friend, Teresa Prue, dancing. And, you know, we were like, I mean, you should have seen us. It was hilarious. Okay. Little fourth graders at St. Anthony's. And it was, I just watched Rocky 3 2 days ago again. And then I watched Rocky 4, and then I watched Rocky 5 because I couldn't go to sleep after I watched Rocky 3 because Mr. T needs to be slapped, but you know.
Okay. All right. Well, Shambo, thank you so much. We appreciate you. All the best. And please, and thank Eva for letting us borrow you for such a lengthy amount of time. We really appreciate it.
Good stuff. Oh, there she is.
Eva.
Okay.
She did a pop in.
She made an appearance.
Okay. Hey, boy.
Bravo and Romeo. Thank you to them as well.
Romy, look.
There they are.
Look. Oh, who's
the Goldens?
The whole world. Oh my goodness. So please, please, please let me end with Captain Crizzy Lovett and Emma Nelson. Please help the city of Lahaina rebuild itself. And if you don't want to do the GoFundMe, it's back from 23, but I believe it's still active. The MauiOceanAdventures.net has whale watching tickets that anybody can buy or even donate to help them, not only with their golden retriever going through chemo, but all the people of the town, because you guys need to watch that show, Survival Mode, season 1, episode 2. Please, anybody that is watching this, that is a Survivor fan, I'm begging you to support these women for the simple fact that they're helping the whole town and they saved so many people's lives. You got to watch this show. T-Bone, I want you to promise me you're tuning this up.
All right, I promise.
Promise.
I just can't get over they made a show called Survival Mode and put it on at the same time slot as Survivor.
What are you talking about? One has nothing whatsoever to do with the other.
But it has a very similar title, and they put it on at the same time slot.
Well, that is not my stuff in 2009. My season episode at 8 p.m. on Thursdays.
Yeah.
In 2010, they changed it to Wednesdays because they lost their slot.
Mhm.
So, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for bringing awareness to this. We'll get the links. We'll put the links in the description for this and for John. And thank you for helping to raise awareness.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Shambo, thank you so much. All the best. We appreciate you and hope we can chat again sometime.
Okay,
Thank you,
brother.
I love you, Sam. Thank you.
Bye, T-Bone. Tell Mama I said hi, and don't forget that collard green recipe I gave her.
I will. I will.
Okay.
I won't forget.
All right, everybody, there you have it. Shambo, you did it, T-Bird.
We did it. Rob.
T-Bone,
We did it.
T-Bone, you nailed it.
We did it.
Yeah. What
You
a
know,
delight.
I think Shambo, we could have gone on for hours with Shambo.
Yeah.
Like you even mentioned, she's a great storyteller. She's unique. She's wonderful. I know, absolutely know why she was cast as Survivor.
But these are my favorite Talking with T-Birds that I've done throughout the history of, and what have we done? Like 60 plus Talking with T-Bird episodes. And Marilyn Mad Dog Hershey and Jan Gentry. And then there's just like these very interesting, I'm not going to say characters, but these memorable personalities who still have so much life and are just, you know, that you get it immediately what the show saw in them. And they're such bright lights. And that to me is Shambo.
Yep, it is. She's eccentric and wonderful and kind. She's got a huge heart. I mean, we could have, again, talked to her for a very long time. She does so much for her community. She cooks for everybody in her neighborhood when they're, you know, sick or got things. She's, you know, her and Eva will just do for everybody. She's a beautiful person. So I'm so glad that we got to have a look into her life now from all these years of Survivor and her take us back to her season.
Okay.
Very lucky.
All right. T-Bird, anything else coming up for you?
No, it's going to be a short Talking with T-Bird season because the summer got a little short on us, which is fine. So hopefully we'll have a couple of more, at least.
Yeah.
Good characters. I mean, players. I know you're working hard behind the scenes for that. I look forward to hearing what everybody has to say. Of course, I love to read the comments about all of this. And we appreciate everybody checking out another episode of Talking with T-Bird. We'll be back with another one, hopefully very soon. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye. Bye.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.